Hi, Sacred Soul family. Jenna PinkStone signing on. Joining me today is going to be a couple of lovely pieces. One is my go-to and actually where I get my name, and it is my pink rose quartz crystal. I'm going to be holding this to keep me centered from a place of love and understanding and compassion. Because Marlene Cronin said something today on Instagram that really spoke to me. And that is, whenever there are people that are trying to bring you down with their negative energy, I mean, they might not be consciously doing that. It might simply be coming from somewhere of a subconscious nature. It might be coming from a place on a timeline trajectory that they do not yet understand. But for whatever reason, they're centering in on possibly your positive vibrations, and they are adding their negative vibrations to the mix in an effort to bring you down. And so something that Marlene Cronin said this morning had to do with, and I'm not going to quote her because I'm paraphrasing here, right? But the way in which it spoke to me was, it was beautiful. It was, I mean, she gave some excellent advice about soaking in Epsom salt baths and imagining the negative energy that you just like seeped from your pores and from your etheric self, and like watch it go down the drain with the water. Okay? Isn't that great? Loved it. And honestly, whenever someone is trying to bring you down with their negative vibes, it's important to bless them. It's important to compassionately remember that they are a part of you. And that if you are triggered, that it is a part of you that is in need of some work as well. And it's not up to you to fix them. It's not up to you to bring them up to your positive vibration. It's only up to you to maintain your positive vibration, to maintain that resonancy, that frequency of love and compassion, that if you are vibrating at that spectacular level, there's really nothing that can bring you down. There's no amount of someone else trying to, cut you to the quick, or explain why this isn't going to work, or that you're not embodying what it is that you think you are, or whatever it is. Anything that hurts you, anything that makes you feel vulnerable that they say, you need to know that that was actually something that was already there inside you, and you need to thank them. You don't have to thank them face to face, but when you are meditating with your own pink stone, you need to thank them for helping you to unpack this and bring it to the surface so that you can inspect it, you can analyze it, and you can love it so that you can actually let it go. Because there's nothing that anyone can say to hurt you whenever you are vibrating at a frequency of universal love and compassion. And that goes for yourself as well. Self-love is actually the type of approach that we're able to embody that will spill over into the rest of the world all over. And people recognize it. They don't just recognize it with their eyes, they feel it with their heart when you're in the room, okay? And self-love is actually the first step. There is no amount of loving someone else that you can accomplish without first loving yourself. And this is something that Siddhartha, in the book Siddhartha, which is actually the story of the Buddha, and he went through many different phases, and I'm actually just bringing this up to, the surface of my orb of understanding right now. So I would love it if any of you would comment about specifics in that lovely, lovely piece of literature. But what I'm going to recall is that he had to first explore his self acknowledgement, before he could recognize that he as a self was part of everything in this world. Okay? So let's truly submerge ourselves in that concept for a moment. You must first acknowledge and love and enjoy and just truly embrace yourself as an infinite being, as a divine creator of your own reality, as someone of worth, as someone of value, as someone who actually is a universe in and of themselves. Is it really hard to love that? To love you? If you explore that deeply in your meditative practices, and when I say meditative practices, I don't mean that you have to, go through all of the motions. If you need an amount of ritual in order to get you in that zone, I absolutely implore you to explore that. But I will tell you that I meditate daily while I'm doing dishes. I meditate while I am soaking in the bath, following some of the sound and sage advice that Marlene Cronin gave this morning. I meditate daily while I'm driving in the car, going about my normal 3D world activities as a mom, as a wife. Whenever I'm at the grocery store and I'm going up and down the aisles, my brain is doing one thing while my orb of understanding is actually connecting to the collective. Okay? I think something that a lot of people are finding difficult is marrying those two selves together. Our etheric self, our spiritual self, with that of our physical self. And really, I believe that the way in which one goes about that properly is through self-love. That is the first stepping stone. Taking that little bit of extra care of your body. Maybe choosing a meal that's going to nourish you, that's going to infuse your cells with invigorating nutrients. And you are envisioning this as you take each bite, as you chew it and you savor the taste, and as you swallow it down and you feel it find its home and resting place within your stomach. This is a practice of self-love, and it is possible to practice these different modalities, these different approaches to self-love in every waking moment. Some people will simply call it self-awareness. I choose to think of it, if you are being aware of yourself and present with yourself, you are loving yourself. I want you to think of a small child. What is it that a small child truly wants? Sure, they're going to act like they want every toy that they see on YouTube. They see, all of the toys, all of the different, gadgets and gadgets that they see plastered all and advertised. But honestly, whenever you get right down to it, what a child actually wants is for you to listen to them, for you to attend to what it is that they are feeling and experiencing in that moment. That is an act of love, listening and being aware with them in that moment that you share together. There's a child in all of us. And whenever you get down to the nitty-gritty, we We don't arrive with anything here on this earth, and we don't leave with anything either. All that we're here to have is an experience, a shared experience. And that shared experience, if you want to go deep with it, the first step is to share that awareness of this very present moment with yourself right now, and to sit with yourself and to truly decipher what it is that you are feeling. Pay attention to how your heart space feels when you feel triggered by someone. If for some reason something happens and anger wells up inside of you, sit with that. Feel it. Don't push it down. That's really not being self-aware. That's not a loving act. That's not acknowledging that something is there to be had and to be noticed and to be acknowledged. It's almost like a small child in feeling angry, just shutting them out and telling them that their feelings don't matter. Anytime we try to shut our anger out, or shut our sadness out, or our worry, or our jealousy, or our frustration, we're actually sending our inner child away. We're sending ourselves away and saying, you don't matter. I don't care what you have to say. And that is not a practice of self-love. It's okay to be triggered. That is a spiritual process too. I think that we misunderstand that, we're supposed to walk through life and nothing is supposed to move us beyond, some level of heightened ascension. And that is simply not the case. We see these gurus, these ascended masters, and how they've really relinquished everything, and that is actually the pivotal platform of which they find themselves. And sure, that might be the goal, but we have a lot of layers to work through before such an experience can be achieved. We have many experiences within experiences before that level of neutrality can truly be felt. And that's wonderful. Bring it on. I'm excited because I unpack my feelings and my emotions, all of my energy bodies. I am present with them daily. And I go through each different chakra all the way up to the crown chakra above my head, and I sit with each individual energy body and I ask it how it's doing. And some days, certain ones are feeling great, and I hug that energy body. I actually take a moment in my orb of understanding. My imagination is imbued with an image of me hugging my crown chakra when I feel enlightened, when I feel enlivened, when I feel inspired, and my crown chakra tingles with delight. There are other days when I feel vulnerable and I feel as though I cannot go on with a process of exploring myself publicly in the way that I'm doing, and I feel very compromised in my heart chakra. And I sit with my heart chakra and I hug my heart chakra and I tell my heart chakra, you are loved, and it's okay that you are feeling vulnerable and like you want to hide right now. That is okay. I love you. You can feel that way. but I hope that you'll tell me why and that we can work through this together. And sometimes it takes a few days of sitting and acknowledging and understanding the parts of yourself that you can't always be present and aware in every single moment sometimes. I mean, you could, but then you'd be a monk, right? And you'd be sitting in meditation for hours and hours every day. If you're a mother like me and that's the path that you've chosen, it is a difficult task to try to remain present and aware with your energy bodies in every given moment. There are other things that require your attention and your awareness and your love. But in loving yourself, I think that you will find that stepping stone actually serves as a scalar jump for you to be able to leap into the frequency of loving others in that same way that you love yourself. It's incredibly difficult if you don't have that initial scalar reality of self-love to love anyone. And if you want to be there for your children as much as I do, if you want to be there for your husband as much as I do, if there's someone in your life who is deserving and ignites in you a need to be there for them, it's actually of the utmost importance that you are first there for yourself. And I know that they'll thank you for it. They will be able to sense a shift in your entire energy field. It will be palpable to your close family members and friends. And I guarantee you, if you sit with yourself in self-love every day, through whatever meditational practice that speaks to you, it will be noticed, and it will be felt, and it will be appreciated. I really thank you for joining me today. And if you'd like to connect with me further, I implore you to reach out to me in a direct message on Instagram. You can also reach out to me on Facebook or by email, jennapinkstone@gmail.com. And my usernames is just my name in both Facebook and Instagram. It's Jenna PinkStone. I really appreciate all of the loving vibes that all of you have sent my way, and I look forward to exploring further these concepts in the different groups and the spiritual community of which we are a part together. This is Jenna PinkStone, signing off.